It's Tuesday morning, I'm on holiday, full leg into a bog, and I'm going to be cycling up a mountain. Absolutely horrific. So I'm roughly starting at the end of the Brecon Mountain Railway at Torpantu station, and if it isn't obvious, I'm down in the Brecon Beacons, South Wales. The route I'm riding today is known as the Gap, and it's about 22 miles long, taking in some 600 meters of climbing. I'm joining the route probably about 7 miles in, so I've only got about 100 meters to get to the top before I drop back down towards Brecon, and then I have to climb all the way back up again, which is about a 500 meter climb. Lots of it's off-road, and I think there's some fairly interesting terrain. The Gap's quite a famous route for mountain bikers, and it's a place where lots of ultra races come through, including the GB Duro and the GB Divide. So weirdly for Wales, the sun has come out, so let's get going and climb this mountain. Join the route about 7 miles in. There should be a link below in the description to the route so you can see where I'm going and roughly where I am. And this is a Taff trail, and as you can see, it appears to have been recently resurfaced because it's lovely. Kind of these large, heavily compacted rocks, not really gravel, with a finer surface on top, and it's just rolling along. See on the Garmin I'm at about 400 meters, and I think the climb comes out at, or tops out at 600 meters, so I've got about 200 meters to climb to the Gap. And the views down there to Pontysil, if that's how you say it, reservoir, absolutely stunning. It's a little bit windy. I think I might have a bit of a tailwind for this part of the climb, but when I'm coming back up from the bottom, I think it's going to be a bit of a headwind. And like every mountain bike adventure, there are gates. That's about 4 gates in less than a mile. Yeah, it's some chunky gravel. Yeah, it's definitely more mountain bike than gravel bike, this first bit. These little steps and ledges, and essentially a stream running down this hill. Yeah, not sure this is a relaxing gravel route. Bit of a bike drag up that hill there, that little hill anyway, crossing this stream. This wasn't quite what I had in mind for this ride, but there you go. Every ride is an adventure. Oh no, I've literally just gone full leg into a bog. Oh my god. Oh dear. Oh no, that is full bog leg. Oh, fantastic. Literally about 2 miles in, and now my leg is absolutely caked in mud. So is my shoe. Might have to find a stream to wash it off in, but this is slightly better now, this riding. And you can kind of see the Gap coming up Penny Van on the left, but I'm going to keep both my hands on bars for a minute because this is a little bit bumpy. And this is the Gap at the top, 600 meters up, and wow, there's an amazing view down there. Very windy though, you can probably hear it's windy, gusting through this Gap. You can see the gap between the two mountains. It is looking pretty rough going back down, so I'm not going to film for a bit. Catch up for you part way down. Decent view down the valley there. We're going to be riding down there, I think. Just came down this hideously steep bit. I actually had to walk down because it was very steep. Well, that was a pretty technical bit of descending in my pretty useless technical descending ability. This is a little bit better, still pretty rocky. Not sure I could recommend a gravel bike. Amazing views. Just got to keep remembering to have a look. Give the old bog leg a wash. Looks like we're about to drop off in a big way. That was a little bit more like me. Nice little grassy descent. So that definitely was on the edge of my comfort zone in terms of technical ability. Those bumpy rocks, but now back on this little road, rolling along. Bog leg is drying off now. Expecting some very smooth skin. these nice little lanes, getting the average speed back up around the top end of the course. On our way to Talibont, which is where the route actually starts, but as I said, I started it at about the 7 mile mark. I think when I get to Talibont, I'll then have about a 7 mile climb to get back to where we're staying. Woohoo! Still just rolling along these lovely lanes, which is a little bit of respite. Not quite sure what's harder, the actual climb or the descent, because it was very rocky and my hands feel pretty battered after that. It was also slightly over dramatic. The climb is only about 5 miles, not 7, so there you go. Woohoo! And this is pristine gravel. This is top tier Princess luxury gravel, which would be perfect for a gravel bike. Lovely on the mountain bike, but as I say, taking a gravel bike over the gap is definitely a challenge. Challenge enough for me on this. I think a full suspension mountain bike would be my choice. On him. Friendly. It's definitely a ride of 2 halves so far. It's a lovely, smooth, easy-going canal path versus the rocky, exposed mountain climb and pass. But it's a nice challenge and a nice way to spend a Tuesday morning. Appear to be in some sort of strange rush hour traffic jam. That could be a caravan, bin lorry bus dilemma. Right, so this is the start of the 5 mile climb. And you can see a nice red climb on the Garmin. Last little view of Talibont. Let's go. So currently 134 metres, and I think it must go up to around 500. Just had a little realisation that I think my tyres are actually pumped up quite hard from a gravel ride I did at the weekend with some friends, which is why I might be finding it harder going than normal. So when I get a moment to stop on this little climb, I'm going to let some air out, see if that helps. Still pretty firm. Hopefully it'll give me a bit more grip. Yeah, that's feeling a lot better. Bit more grip, bit more comfort on this rocky climb. Don't feel I'm getting bashed off the trail into the hedge or earlier on into that bog. Probably a little bit extra slippery as well, where it has been raining over the last few days. But as I say, it's Wales. Got to expect that. Quick little pause to take in views of the Talibont Reservoir and the hills. We're at about 300 metres, so another 200 or 300 maybe to climb. Cheeky gate on the climb. Thanks for an opportune moment to grab my breath, catch my breath. A bit sloppy. Oh. The old sheep come to say hello. They're a bit better at this terrain than I am. Oh dear. Hopefully I can get around this. Maybe I'll have a red leg to add to my grey bog leg. Coming back into that headwind now. Don't think we're too far from the summit. But yeah, that wind is picking up big time. Looks like we're going back through another little gap. Onto the top. 517 metres up. Very windy. This is more like it. Nice fire road through the forest, and I think I've got about another 3 miles to get back to the train station. Very windy, and that last bit again was pretty muddy and rocky, so I'm very glad I didn't choose to take my gravel bike with me on this holiday and that I took the mountain bike, because that would have been absolutely horrific. There's the Pontus Grill Reservoir coming into view, nearly back. Oh, and the sun's coming out. How lovely. Cruising along here, wind in my back. I can see Penny Van, maybe the gap in the very distance where we rode through earlier today. So there you go, back at the train station 2.5 hours later for a route that's about 22 miles and over 650 metres of climbing, and that climbing is pretty hard and rocky. My mud treatment looks like it's fully dried, so I'll be going back to where we're staying to wash that off, and hopefully I'll have a lovely smooth leg. In terms of what bike to use, I don't think I'd use a gravel bike because that was very hard. Hardtail mountain bike was okay. I'd definitely favour a full suspension mountain bike on those descents, and I guess if you're on holiday having a little ride, an e-bike is what you'd probably have the most fun on. spin up those hills and then rocket down those descents. Anyway, I best be getting back, so thanks for watching and see you in the next one.